Hey girl, hey. Okay, so first of all, welcome to Jess in the Nest. Oh my gosh, welcome to our very first episode. I am your host, Jessica C. Johnson. I am a wife, a mama, homemaker, author, speaker, and your new favorite podcast bestie. And right here, this is the Nest, okay? This is the safe space where we're going to share real life stories, have faith-filled conversations, and just a whole lot of grace as we learn to grow through what we go through, all right? And listen, it's the very first episode, like I said. So, I mean, come on, it's the very first one. And I just couldn't be more thrilled that you're here right now, that this is even happening. But I have a really good episode for you today because we're diving into something that I think a lot of us deal with as far as our faith when it comes to God's calling, not as it relates to God calling us to build before we're even ready. And so we're just going to dive in because this is going to be a real strong start. Okay. So, you know, when God puts, let me just use me for example. When God put this podcast in my heart, right? I didn't feel ready. Same thing when he called me to write my book, Just Finding My Way. I didn't feel ready at all. Like I have no experience in writing, or had, I guess. I learned along the way. Same thing with this podcast. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have all the fancy equipment. I didn't have all the fancy lingo and things like that. And half the time or majority of the time, I'm just winging it in between being a wife, being a mom, taking care of the home. And so it's like in the midst of all that, God was just like, start anyway, do it. I called you to it. Do it, and I'm so grateful that he is a patient God, because I kept procrastinating this for so long. And if I could be honest, God telling me to just do it hit differently because it's easy to obey when we feel prepared, but I think we can all agree that it's much harder when we're not, right? So when the timing feels off and the budget is weird and imposter syndrome definitely kicks in, it's like, okay, even with all of that, your obedience has to speak louder than all of that, right? So and I think we glamorize building seasons sometimes because we picture the progress looking like, these big announcements, these beautiful launches, and everything just being all put together, because we know when God shows us the vision, that's when we start picturing all of these beautiful things that are going to come out of it. But we oftentimes forget that majority of the time, building it doesn't look like that. Right? It's that quiet faith that we have to have. It's those late nights. It's the little steps. It's showing up even when no one's noticing us. And for me, that's what this podcast, my books, and everything represents, because it's not about perfection. It never was. It was just preparation. God teaching me that just because it's not perfect and polished doesn't mean that he can't use it. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, if he's going to call you to it, he's already equipped you for it even before he brought it to your attention. So don't expect perfection in anything you do. So maybe if you're listening right now and God's been nudging at you, and it could be to write that book, to start that business, to whatever it is. It could be going back to school or healing that relationship, maybe that you're meant to have in this season. But either way, your first thought has to be, your first thought usually is, God, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do that yet. It feels too soon. I don't have the means for it. I don't have the mental preparation. I'm not emotionally prepared to go through this. And we've all been there. But what I've learned is readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. And your decision to trust God's timing over your own timeline is the main factor, okay? Because just like it says in his word, his timing is not our timing. His plans are not our plans, right? And I think we all can agree that his are much better than ours. So either way, even if you decide to take one obedient step at a time, let this be your sign to go ahead and just take that first step. Just because you're not ready, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, your goal is to trust in the one who called you to it. It's not about trusting in yourself per se, because you're not your own God. You can't wait until the money's looking right. You can't wait until everything. God's going to work it all out. He going to call you to something and not have it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, when you do that, just little by little, the more you're obedient and the more you're faithful, you'll start to see how he built something beautiful out of what just seemed just like a bunch of broken pieces, a bunch of chaos. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I say all that to say, like, this podcast, Jess in the Nest, this is my act of obedience. This is me saying yes before I had it all figured out. And I'm just inviting you to do the same. Same when I wrote my book, it was just a yes. I wanted to procrastinate it so much, but I had to say yes because I realized that it was much bigger than me. And so, whatever your situation looks like right now, I just want this to be a reminder that God can build with whatever you have right where you are. All right. So I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Oh my gosh, this is so surreal right now. God is so amazing. Oh my goodness. But anyways, I will see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode. You're not going to want to miss it. It is so good. Until next time, I'm Jess, and this is The Nest.